The ending of Spider-Man No Way Home directly sets up the opening scene of Avengers Doomsday, from the Nanotech to the curing of the villains, and we are finally going to see the OG Spider-Man, the OG Wolverine, the OG Goblin and Doc Ock, and the OG Magneto sharing the screen, something I have wanted since I was 8 years old, and here we fucking are. Hey everybody, Colton here, and it's been rumored for a while that the opening scene of Avengers Doomsday will take place on Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe, and that it would feature him doing battle with Wolverine and Deadpool, who have been dispatched by the X-Men to destroy Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe because it is colliding with their universe, and the only option to keep both universes from dying is to destroy one. Now, as cool as it sounds to see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine on screen together in the midst of an incursion battling it out, I will say, ever since this started popping up, this rumor, this leak, whatever, I've never been big on the idea of Deadpool and Wolverine planting a bomb to destroy an entire reality. Seems a bit much, but after what they just went through to save their universe in Deadpool and Wolverine, I guess it kind of makes sense that they would continue to do whatever they possibly could to save their universe again. It's a real trolley problem, because you have them essentially committing mass universal genocide, but also their only other option is to not do anything and let it happen times two. My hope is that if we are seeing the X-Men and Deadpool and Wolverine do this, I at least hope and suspect that they will at least show Deadpool and Wolverine and Professor Xavier and all of the X-Men really struggling with the choice that they have been given here. Anyway, rumor has it that not only are we going to see Tobey's Spider-Man battling Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, but that we will see Tobey's villains from previous films as well. The villains that we just revisited in Spider-Man No Way Home. They apparently will all be fighting Magneto, who is also working with the X-Men to destroy Tobey's universe. And guys, this means that the mission of curing these villains and giving them a new chance at life that we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home, and to not just send them back home to die, that worked. Peter's plan, Peter 1, which really should be Peter 3, but anyway, Tom Holland's Peter, the MCU Spider-Man, his plan worked. Doc Ock was freed from the control of his mechanical arms, but now when he gets sent back to his universe, he's still got them and he is there using them to help defend his universe. Same with Norman Osborn, who is cured of the Green Goblin persona, but he may very well still have his powers, his human enhancements that the Goblin serum was originally designed to be. The cure that we saw Tobey's Peter create, it may not have completely done away with the Goblin serum, but instead perfected what Norman was trying to make all the way back in that first Spider-Man movie, which was essentially just a super soldier enhancement serum. So we could see a Norman Osborn who is still flying around on his glider, has a mech suit, and even still has the strength and agility of the Goblin, but Norman is in full control because Tobey's version of the formula fixed it, and that aggression, that Goblin part is gone. So do you hear what I'm saying here? Do you hear what this report is? Alfred, Molina, Doc Ock, Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin, fighting Ian McKellen's Magneto in an Avengers movie? Do you hear what I'm saying? This sounds awesome. I have played out this scenario in my head when daydreaming, and also 20 years ago playing with action figures. This is what I have wanted for 20 years, and I am so thrilled that we are getting it. And this is the type of this leads to this storytelling that I have wanted to see in this multiverse saga, in this Avengers movie. Not only is it following up on a wish that we've all had since the early 2000s by putting these characters on screen together, but it's also making the most successful movie of this saga, Spider-Man No Way Home, a key piece of the narrative leading into Doomsday. You know, there were some who thought that we'd never see Tobey's Spider-Man again, and this was all just a one-off for No Way Home. They said the same thing about Hugh Jackman for Wolverine, that he was only coming back for Deadpool and Wolverine, and that would be it. No, motherfucker. Their returns in those movies, that was just the beginning. You don't bring back Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the multiverse saga with Secret Wars on the horizon and not at least have the idea, the plan of including them in your multiversal Avengers movie. A movie that is all about Marvel movie nostalgia and celebrating the last 30 years of Marvel movies. So this all sounds awesome, and there have been some other reports indicating that Tobey's scenes that he has shot were actually shot with him in a mocap suit because Tobey is going to have some nanotech built into his new costume, perhaps a costume that even resembles the Iron Spider suit from the comics, and this would of course make perfect sense and fall in line with not only what we have already heard established in Spider-Man 1 and 2, the Raimi films, but also what was established in Spider-Man No Way Home. If Dr. Octavius and Dr. Osborn, both of which had an interest in nanotechnology, and both of which were impressed by the nanotech they encountered in No Way Home in the MCU, it makes sense that these three big brains would come together and work on nanotechnology and develop nanotechnology based on what they learned in the MCU, and they can now share that technology with their universe and better their world, and we could also see them make them some nanotech suits for their respective superheroing, I guess you could say. Hell, we might actually see Alfred Molina's Doc Ock in a comic-accurate yellow and green suit. We could see Norman Osborn be in a more Iron Man type suit instead of still embracing like that Green Goblin persona, and this would be in line with Osborn's time as the Iron Patriot in the comics. And then of course there's Tobey Spider-Man in an OG Iron Spider costume. That could all just be so fucking cool. And seeing these three work together, not only with their big minds and perhaps working together at Oscorp and bettering the world, we could also see them as the protectors of their world. And seeing them work together as like a team and fighting fucking Magneto and Wolverine and Deadpool, I cannot get over how epic this movie has the potential of being. And this is so much more impactful, by the way, using this universe, these two universes. This is a multiverse movie, right? Avengers Doomsday. It's about variant universes colliding and the multiverse dying. And instead of a dumb like Universe 838 thing that we have zero connection to, we instead have Tobey's universe and the Fox X-Men universe, the two OG Marvel universes that we all know and love, and they are colliding. And it will actually make us feel what is happening in those opening moments of Doomsday, instead of just giving us two random universes that we know nothing about and that we're told we need to care about or feel something when we see two big CGI universes colliding together for an incursion. We are actually going to have characters from universes, from films that we have spent time with, characters that we recently spent time with in Spider-Man No Way Home and in Deadpool and Wolverine, which are the two most successful movies of the multiverse saga and that damn near everyone and their dog saw. So it makes sense that those two movies could serve as building blocks in this house of cards leading to Doomsday. So if you couldn't tell, I'm excited. They are going there, they are doing it, and I fucking love it. Now, watch none of it actually be true. No, in all seriousness, I do have it on pretty good authority that these are accurate leaks, and I think opening Avengers Doomsday with the X-Men universe, warring it out with the original Spider-Man universe, setting the stage for Doomsday in those opening moments, showing us an incursion, showing us what is at stake, it's a great idea, instead of having it, again, just be some random variant thing. Seeing Ian McKellen share the screen with Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina as their classic Marvel villains, arguably, I'd say my holy trinity of Marvel villains. God, if we see them interact with Downey as Tomb, oh my God, that would be insane. I'm hopeful that Secret Wars will give us Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire as leads in that film, maybe even their fate in the like early part of Doomsday, which supposedly ends with it looking pretty bleak for the two OG heroes. That could perhaps be setting up and result in them being two of the only characters that remember the multiverse after it collapses at the end of Doomsday. Like, you know, in the comics, after the multiverse collapses and they all land in Battle World, none of our heroes remember their pre-Battle World existence. But Tobey and Hugh, if they like land in the void at the beginning of Doomsday, they could be immune to all that and they could actually like remember the multiverse. And I think maybe the young Avengers that I think could likely escape in an arc into the quantum realm by working together. Maybe we could see Cassie Lang with her knowledge of the quantum realm and who I believe has been confirmed for Doomsday. Yes, that actress has been confirmed for Doomsday. So they could also remember the multiverse that came before. So we could see like these two OGs and the new blood working together. It just sounds, I am so excited for this movie. I don't get how some people aren't. Whatever. I'm stoked for it. You ain't gonna yuck our yum, right? I am stoked for Doomsday, stoked for Secret Wars, and this sounds awesome. I love Tobey's Spider-Man suit in the Raimi films. I would be okay, though, if we get to see him in like an OG Iron Spider suit. I would be okay with that. but then maybe have it get like destroyed or something and he's in his classic suit for Secret Wars. But we'll just have to see. All right, I'm gonna go. I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. I'll see you guys soon. I've been Colton Ogburn. Bye!